more, does it deserve that pity? Yes, it does. Because think about it. Okay, even in America, America, and it's in many states in America, there's still the death penalty. And treason, you get electric chair. So even America kills most. So
yeah, that's a good point.
It was more that Hamas was country that they deserved it.
That's a good point, brother. That's a good point you brought up. Yep, for treason, that is a big thing, though, in America, in Canada, in freaking all of these countries. Even in Iran and Israel as well. They just arrested about 5 or 10 people that were spying on their government for Iran. And they arrested them. I'm sure they're probably going to torture them and maybe end up killing them.
You get death penalty. America, like the states, the death penalty, you get death penalty. So everywhere. It's not like nobody's going to go free if you're a mob. So don't act, that's treason. So you can't use that excuse to say Hamas was torturing the Palestinians. If it's a mob, that's the law. You will go down everywhere else in the world.
Nathan, what would you do if you, let's say you were a resistance, right? You were protecting your people. It turns out there's a mole in your government. What would you do?
I'll put him to jail for life sentence.
Either do that or
do the war between Russia and Ukraine.
Shoot him in the head, man. That's what you should do.
No, I would shoot resistance fighters in the head. But internal moles are probably...
You mean Zionist, like PDF, Israeli dog?
No. Who do you think deserves to win the war between Russia and Ukraine?
Are you asking a question?
It doesn't matter who this is.
I can't hear you. You got that.
Who do you think deserves to win the war between Russia and Ukraine?
The war? What did it deserve?
I think they both need to win. I think they both need to have a strong alliance with one another and not be so divided.
A peaceful treaty will be good if they could settle without, just make peace somehow. It will be better than some one person winning because lots of people are dying. If they could come to some sort of peaceful agreement, I think that would be best. And Trump, before he got in office, he said he will solve that in 3 days.
Yeah, but
wait, hold on, Nathan. Why are you so split on making a decision there then?
Who, me?
No, Nathan.
Okay.
It was started by NATO, right? This Ukraine war. What would you say?
Yeah, I just asked Nathan why is his decision to support one split.
No, I don't really have a thing. For me, it's like, they're like an extended family to me, right? Like, I'm a Jew, my home is Israel, but my family lived in
You're a liar. Your home is not Israel. You don't live in Israel. Why do you make these things up? You don't live in Israel.
They were in Ukraine and Russia for many generations.
No, Nathan, why are you lying when you don't live in Israel?
Excuse me.
Well, stop lying and saying you live in Israel when you didn't.
Today, my home, I live in Canada.
What is my home? What is my origin? It would be Israel today. But
every time you guys jump in a bunker somewhere, they think they're in Israel. You're not in Israel, bro. You never have been. You don't live there.
Nathan, you're in a Jewish country.
There's people that's cultural.
We can't hear you.
What's that bunker buster?
Yeah, he's in the.
Hold on. You guys hear me now?
We're in a Jewish country.
No, I'm actually above ground. That's the problem. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you. We don't want to hear no more lies. Yeah. You don't live in Israel. You never lived in.
I don't live in Israel, but I would consider it as a Jew. Israel is my home.
It's not though.
But for me, Russia and Ukraine, my family is going to go.
And I'm a Muslim, and I consider Palestine my home. Okay,
guys, impulse control. Thank you. Impulse control. Exercises.
You want to defend the LGBTQ community?
Ludwig, I know you like to go to work out your body. Go work out your impulse control. Anyways, back to you, Mr. Palestine. So the between Ukraine and Russia, once again, as a people, I think that they have a lot of cultural similarities, spiritual. I want them to be united. I don't want them to be divided in one way, shape, or form. So that's me. I'm kind of like the old, Putin had this old saying that if you want the Soviet Union back, you have no brain, but if you don't miss the Soviet Union, you have no heart. And so, like, it's just the heart of, like, having a united Slavic people there.
Motivational speaks.
You didn't agree with.
You're trying to say something motivational, like, while you guys are wearing diapers, like, what's going on? How are you saying?
Nathan, I'm not gonna lie, I think I watched,
And don't return until tomorrow. Like, that would be so fucking stupid. Oh, that's nice. Alright, everybody please quote post the space with join the conversation. You go down there to the bottom right, click on that, and click on repost, click quote, and then type in join the conversation. So more people can see that the space is in fact there. Have some fun with it. Yes.
Indeed.
Alright. We shall see what else will happen today. It's probably a lot of interesting stuff. But yeah, it was a great launch. Rocket survived, but did a landing on the ocean. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Got to see like different colors of plasma that we normally saw in the past, and a lot of cool different things like the oxidized metal. Yeah, there's some cool things.
Oh yeah, it was waving at you.
Yeah, the wave. Yeah, exactly, the wave too. Yeah, I clipped that. I put a bunch of clips in the project folder. So.
Nice. It was waving at you. Yeah, they really abused that thing as much as possible. Like, absolutely no mercy on that. It was awful, but good at the same time. You have to know the limitations of your tech, man. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Limitations of my tech right now are subject to however much beef that I'm consuming, so I'm going to be making some of that right now. So, yeah, that's a little update on what we're doing here. But yeah, pretty decent day, you know. I'm glad that the launch happened a little bit later than normal. Just nice for a lot of people. Plus, the weather was really good. It would have been great to see catch, but I guess they didn't do that because of some complications. People would say it was probably complications because of the tower, but yeah, they will keep doing more landings in the ocean until eventually they've perfected it, and then they will do a catch with the soon. That goes for Starship, of course. So yeah, the Starship catch is going to be a little bit out. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but who knows? You know, maybe in 2 or 3 launches we'll have a catch. It would make sense. It would make sense. It's a good progression. Yeah. Not sure what exactly happened to the tower. Like, I don't know. But I guess we can speculate. Yeah, it should be great. Also, the latest news, the major World War III problem has become a little bit more of a hot topic in that Ukraine, after Putin said, hey, we're going to escalate to nuclear at some point, said, hey, why don't we just piss them off some more? Start launching some rockets into Russia. Very good move. Totally nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Absolutely insane. Like, the people have a lot of... people don't have as much of a connection to life as they should, in a sense. The reason why I say that is because, like, to make a decision such as that requires a disconnect, I think, from the actual costs of battle. That's a bit of a problem. If you have a disconnect, though, you don't actually do most of it yourself. It's like, You don't value the lives of your soldiers, you just throw them away. Worst of all, you extinguish the flower of youth because all those people that you sent out there on the battlefield, many of them will not return. Many of them are, in fact, young people, which furthermore creates a problem for you because that your repopulation will not be as effective, perhaps not even existent in the future, if it so happens that what you've done is eradicate the people that would have led to repopulation, which is the young people, the people you've sent into the battlefield, where they now die. That's really fucked up. Such as that requires. I don't know why. This is unfortunate. This motherfucker packed the wrong shit, man. Got some spices from somewhere, and you put the sage and the oregano. I was like, why? Why did you do that? Why did you do that, Neo? What is it all for? Yeah! Sorry, I had to throw that out there. I wanted to be a bit unhinged today. Yeah. I want to do this, but part of me is saying not to. I really will trash talk immense shit. Alright, we have a potential for super troll modes to be engaged. We have a potential for that. Just don't know if I should.
That could be fun.
I'm thinking very hard about this. I'm thinking, like, should I actually do this? I don't know. Because, like, when I, it's one thing that to this day I kind of always wanted to do, but I never got around to doing it. And that was to have Mark Cuban on a space.
Yeah. I tried last time. He didn't respond.
Yeah, it's not gonna have a good conversation. That's not gonna happen. He's doing public damage control now because Kamala lost. Kamala! So,
Right.
damage control is the only way out of this one for sure. So he's gonna get decent. I know that, yeah, he's doing a little bit of delete. Just a little bit. Actually, he deleted all of that, all the support for Kamala Harris. He deleted all of those posts. Just quite fascinating, to say the least. Like, why did you do that? What did you do it for? But, oh well.
In other elections, too, admittedly.
Really? How about that? Isn't that fascinating? Wild. Meanwhile, there's a thing. I've witnessed this before. It was with Threads, so remember that. When Threads came out, a lot of the crypto people went over to it, thinking it was going to be a new platform, and said, hey man, we actually get to have a second resurgence. And then, of course, all quit that platform because they realized that, one, the engagement was not real. Two, they were getting moderated to shit. Blue Sky's following the same trend, by the way. It's kind of funny, but they're doing it differently. They actually have a better system in that. So there was one thing where they had a server issue, and then they said, due to the server issue, a lot of the posts that should have gotten likes didn't get likes. I'm like, what kind of verbiage is that? Especially considering that the speculation is a lot of the engagement is probably not real. Right? That's my speculation. My speculation is it's not real.
Yeah. Could be.
Because there's no fucking way. You have like 20 million users and you have that much engagement, like spread across a very small number of, actually not even a small, sorry, very large number of people. That is very sus. Like on here, there's a large market, right? This market needs to be catered. And there's only so many people for it to go around, and the recommendation system is actually pretty good. The way I see things recommended there makes it seem as though it is just more or less randomized. And so it's very difficult to kind of discern what triggers which thing, except that everything triggers every other thing. So that it's actually not real. So what you're seeing there, that engagement is actually not real. Can't be. Because that's simply not how an algorithm would work. It's also the same place like with Instagram, for instance, where the problem is people say, oh, we get a lot more engagement on Instagram. That is absolutely true, but that engagement is entirely made out of bots most of the time. If you look, for instance, to get 1 million likes on a post here on X.com, that's a huge achievement. You'll get millions of impressions, probably even hundreds of millions of impressions, but you will never get to millions of likes. The reason why that is because there's a certain level, certain barrier to entry here. First, something has to absolutely not suck. Secondly, it has to reach the right confines and the right sim clusters. Then, on top of that, it has to be engaging enough for people to actually identify with it and thereby give it a like. In other places, you have bots. It doesn't matter. They don't identify with anything. They're just machines. And they look very real. So out of curiosity, I actually did actually fucking around with Blue Sky a little bit, just like watching it. And I'm thinking of making some really fucking stupid posts because I know that I can be very maliciously compliant with the TOS on. I'm thinking of doing that just to trigger these people. But remember, these people are mentally insane. They are very unstable people that should belong in a mental institution, quite a lot of them. So if I were to do this, there will be very hostile reaction that will probably lead to the outcome that is death threats, threats of doxing, threats of this, threats of that, because in the past they've done all these things, but they've kind of fucked themselves over because they're too retarded to actually pull anything off that is actually real, because that's the reason why they also continue to lose. So it's kind of funny. It's very interesting.
Are Blue Sky and Threads not mental institutions?
Oh, that's a good take. That's a very good take, actually.
And all of the algorithms, like, I'm pretty sure there's like an NPC score, and it's like the measurement. It's not like whether you're politically correct or like left or right or something. It's like, well, how is this person a bot or not? And there's like, it's not binary, Like there's well, this might be a real person, but they behave more bot-like than many algorithms. And the issue is that if you're on Blue Sky or Threads, then by default you're kind of already like a 1.0 on the NPC score because you're like on the wrong website.
That is actually a really good point. And how does the NPC score, like, what does this look like? What's that system? How do I score people on the NPC score?
It's like they're all advertising and networking with other NPCs. So they're just like wasting their own time. It's like, imagine if you had a Bitcoin miner, but you're like mining Bitcoin Cash.
Ew.
That's what happens when you like tweet on Blue Sky.
That is the greatest description I've ever heard. That is hilarious. That deserves to be clipped. That is cracked. You don't mind being clipped, of course, do you?
It'll yeah, go ahead.
Cool. Because like technically all spaces are recorded by default, either by X themselves and then kept and deleted after 30 days. But we actually do clip out some of our spaces as well. And there's like a person that records every single space that is unrecorded in a sense. I'm not going to tell you where to find it. You're going to have to find that one for yourself. But like, it's kind of funny because that bro also sometimes makes clips. He has like an entire automated service to run exactly that, to basically keep an archive of recorded spaces. So he's like the internet archive except for spaces.
It's sort of like how, Elon's saying you could be more efficient as a magic 8-ball random number generator than like trying for these government departments. It's like you could literally just replace with like a little bubble head and it will make yes, no, up, down head decisions, and it'll be like, it'll trade better.
Yeah.
Than if you actually put in effort.
So in effect, you're saying that the people themselves are so allergic to the idea of something that actually makes sense, that something that's random makes more sense than them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because at least like it's like it's like a base. It's like a binary clock. It's like at least half of them are going to be correct. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's like an index fund, you know? Just buy the index fund of the ones and the zeros.
By the way, what do you eat? Out of curiosity, right here. Yeah, like on average, like what do you eat?
Well, I'm like on the Donald Trump diet now, so I'll eat at like 8 p.m.
Yeah, keep eating steak.
Steak and eggs, and rice, and ice cream.
Ice cream. You like a little sugary treat on top of that, do you?
Yeah, it's important.
I echo that. I make myself milkshakes. I have like this European jam that has only like 4 ingredients in it. Very nice, very tasty. I keep making milkshake from that. It's like blueberry. So I'm pretty sure that it's like not entirely organic or anything like that. But to be honest, like the trade-off is you taking something that could possibly poison you with a lot of exposure or something that could probably poison you with limited exposure. It's like at that point, there's just trade-offs as to what is logistically scalable for you. And the jam is
so
perfect.
You can consume food with seed oils, or you can fast.
Yeah. I had like a bunch of seed oils and shit. This weekend, I went ball out. I was like doing all kinds of shit that I was not supposed to do. I was, I drank some stuff, ate some carbs. I went to a place where the food tasted like what I'd imagine food would taste like in purgatory. Like something and nothing at the same time. It was fucking disgusting, but not at the same time. And their drinks were actually disgusting though. Like you ever drank something you couldn't really identify what it is, and you just kind of just sit there and you don't know how to process that. You're not in shock, but you're also not disgusted. So you just sit there and you don't know what to do now. It's like you're disappointed at the fact that this is what you paid money for, but you're also disappointed in yourself at the fact that this is what you consider paying money for, not knowing what this would be. Like, it's a very confusing emotion. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance in this.
Wow, no, that's funny though.
I swear, man, fucking hell. I don't know what's wrong. Like, some bars really have some absolute shit food. You go there to drink, that's the point. But you should also have good food so you can eat and then drink, so that you don't get shit-faced after a while. You kind of want to spend more alcohol so you can get more shit-faced, but the fact that you can eat and food makes you less shit-faced, meaning that you can actually drink more and then become shit-faced. The business model is fucking stupid.
Do you know what the Irish have for breakfast?
What is that?
Guinness.
It's true.
For breakfast, wow.
The way it's setting it up is like drinking that stuff
solved the problem with bar food.
Come again?
They don't have a problem with bar food because they just have Guinness.
Oh my god. That's probably true.
What were they going to eat? Potatoes?
That's a historical thing. If people don't get that one, you should go look it up. Why is that funny? That is so fucked up.
You're like, you're going like, what do you eat? And my family moved to New Zealand in like the 1880s or something, 1880s or 1890s, during the Irish like potato famine. And to this day, if you go to the supermarket in New Zealand, you can buy potatoes with the Wilcox name on the box.
Oh, that's nice. That's incredible. So you are able to actually trace your ancestry to the point where you actually know exactly where you came from.
At least the name. Yeah, I guess there's a bunch of other pathways in there. Also, there are other Wilcox, like potato farmers in America, the ones that went to America.
Right. And of course, there's, was it Brian? Was it Wilcox as well? It's Brian Cox, no, sorry, that was bad. My bad. Disregard. The guy who works for the BBC. You know what's funny? The BBC had a interesting mental breakdown internally, must have been, because they forgot that the word nominal is real, and as such corrected, quote unquote, the statement by SpaceX that all systems operated nominally. It's like, oh, we believe it's normal. The correction. Then they undid it, of course, because it's extremely stupid what they did. But it's kind of funny. You could say that the nominal performance of failure is what the BBC currently experiences, and that they don't focus on the stuff that's relevant, like, I don't know, say the facts and potentially also the English language.
Wow.
I made that as a comment. I thought, like, I so had to drag that through the mud. You don't hate the BBC enough. Not just hate, I just disapprove of them. I think they're full of shit. They used to be good. Like, right up until, I think, 2019, 18, something like that, they were actually pretty good. Everything after that just went straight to shit. Like, absolutely useless. The TV program sucked. The radio program sucked. Everything sucked. You listen to it, it's like all about race, man. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was just miserable to listen to.
I think most of England, most of Britain is just like, they're just the content farm for the Adam Curtis documentary that comes out. And like, the cultural degradation is just part of the television tax. You know, like the TV tax that they charge everybody. And on the whole, like if you're not in England where you don't have to pay the television tax, but you get the Adam Curtis documentaries for free, it's worth the sacrifice.
Wow.
Have you seen the normalization?
True. I gotta ask, what brings you by here today? I don't really see it that often.
I'm just, trying to make sure I'm in sync with the Department of Government Efficiency project. And I saw that there's a Cybertruck, and in the Trump's lineup, and I was wondering how they're gonna charge it. Do they like wait around?
I don't know.
Do they have it? I hope one of the Escalades has like a diesel generator.
Yeah. The problem is the battery technology runs ever out to run. The only reason why battery technology, the only reason why electric vehicles really make sense, aside from the fact that they have instant torque and they're super fun to drive, is energy efficiency. That's literally like the prevalent argument. That's why the EVs that are created by Legacy Auto, nobody fucking wants these things because they have none of the upsides of an EV and all of the downsides of an EV, you know?
Yeah, so I was thinking of like working on a power efficiency like metric that we can put to the DOGE.
And that would be?
It's called power usage efficiency, like for data centers. But data centers are like really expensive, so it looks it's hard to look at it as efficient, even though it's efficient.
Makes sense.
But I'm looking at land usage efficiency. What do you think of land usage efficiency as a metric?
It's a bit of a, like for land usage, I'm not too sure. It depends. I think like land usage in terms of not area consumed, but location consumed, rather, I think. Like, say you have a data center, say you have, like, normal housing, probably want the housing to all be in one area, the data centers to be all in the other area, as much as possible. Because then you can say, hey, whenever I want to create infrastructure, probably the most extensive power lines go through the data centers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking of making, like a Toyota Hilux data center, because like the land is already paid for. Because of the roads. It like technically takes up some land area, but it's like a quantum entanglement thing where it's like everywhere. It's like evenly distributed amongst all of the cars. You've paid the road tax.
Yeah, it's ironic because it kind of makes sense by not making sense. Which is the idea of quantum mechanics, and seems to be, especially entanglement.
Also, do we take up like the land that's just on the part of the wheel that is like squashed down and flattened, or is it like the whole area of the vehicle beds, like, even though it's
I hear that shit.
It's a box or something.
If you give me a $40 decent house tomorrow,
You're a voice to listen to. What are you getting at?
I'm just trying to figure out like what these measures are going to be.
Well, nothing in terms of road area, unless you consider putting inductive shit underneath.
Everybody, please crush post.
But isn't roading like the biggest public expenditure?
Please crush post the
It absolutely is, but that is because the road construction quality itself is dog shit most of the time. Oh, and the fact that we use the roads.
So we always had this thing like, this is probably going on years ago now, but like if you have a self-driving car, like do you really need to go anywhere? Because it can just like pick up your groceries for you.
I mean, physically going to a certain place, that still makes sense. Until, of course, we have solved major latency issues. At that point, you'll just inhabit the world. But realistically speaking, everything goes towards not actually going anywhere, but sitting in the faster.
So yeah, exactly. So if you like work from home for the cloud, do you really need a driveway? Like we could probably like you're fine without a driveway, right? Like just walk to your if you need to.
You might need a driveway.
But shouldn't you just like if you want a driveway, then you pay for your road access?
The road access is always there, but the driveway construction, that's on you.
Yeah, but like that's just because we call the road up to your driveway. I mean, all the roads are driveways, right?
Technically.
So if you never needed to like go anywhere, it's like if you were just playing like Call of Duty campaign on your computer, do you really like need an Ethernet connection?
No.
Like we could probably remove that like from the bundle, right? Like if you want an Ethernet connection and Xbox Live, then you pay for it. Subscription roadways, all of the NPCs, if you are an NPC, then you are banned from driving.
You're like Vitalik's capitalist twin.
Well, NPCs should be banned from driving. Actually, if you're a good NPC, you should not. Specifically, what I mean is if you religiously follow this movement, I guess that's kind of fine. The main violators are actually the people who don't follow the speed limit, as in that they drive way too fucking slow. And that actually is more of a drag on the economy than potential damages caused by people who overspeed. By the way, the reason why people overspeed is because other people drive too slow. Like on average, you could get to your destination a lot faster if everybody actually followed the rules. and not be a stupid bitch about it and say, hey, I'm going to be NPC brain and that I follow everyone else's dumbass decision and saying, hey, we got to risk factor correct so much that we basically travel half the speed, even though that's technically illegal. Yeah, but that's why you've got to multi-dimensional chess that shit, because people don't actually drive the way they're supposed to. Yeah. How they're going to be driving given that people are idiots, and then counteract that driving strategy. Yeah.
Okay. I think we figured it out. So, NPCs are slow drivers.
Yep.
So what do you think that if somebody is on Blue Sky, do you think that they drive the speed limit?
That is a good question. I don't think so. No, they're the type of person in a car that is exceedingly boring. This probably still has the same car that they've had since the early 2000s. Does not bother to exchange it because they're cheap as shit about it, and they think it's a political statement. And they drive so slow in the damn thing that they basically hold up most of the economy, which is also comparable to their speech, which also happens to slow everything down or destroy everything because the ideas are bullshit. Is that the point? Because I feel like it is.
My like mental model is like somebody who pays for an Android phone that's 90% as expensive as an iPhone, but depreciates twice as fast, and it's like 3 times worse. And they think that they saved money.
What I would say is they probably go 5 under. They still slow down every time they see a cop, and then they silently whisper under their breath.
Wow.
I think it's so fucking stupid.
They're people who buy Bitcoin at the top.
And then sell when they made like 1%.
I did sell before the peak, but I just wanted a Mac Mini.
That's just like a long ultra derivative. It's like buying an ASIC, but people are still on GPU mining.
Exactly. That's the decision.
They don't know about the Mac Mini. Built a flower computer guy.
I think crypto like that, where it's like, okay, I want to make this amount of money so that I can get this, is a lot more reasonable than the way a lot of people do it, where they're just like trying to like, you know, achieve pie in the sky amounts of money. Like, I've had car repair bills and been like, okay, I need money. I'm going to look at what meme coins have growth potential and see if I can make enough for my car repair bill, and done it successfully. But if I was going to try to make millions of dollars, like, that's just not reasonable.
Meme coin trading is like as if you looked at a particular topic that could be trending on X.com, like a meme itself, and posting it in the hopes of getting enough engagement to meet the quota at the end of 2 weeks to get the monetization. I just don't have to do Ponzi schemes and violate the SEC. It's a little different. I'm more Web 2. Just kidding.
One of my domain names I let expire was Pies in the Sky. And it was for this when you have these guys who, like, you know, you work from home and you can't drive, then you can hit a button like an Uber app, and then the drone will go down to the pie shop, meat pie shop for lunch, and it'll fly you over like a mince pie and a Coke for lunch. That's Adrian. That's also what I eat. Like sometimes, like I oscillate between like steak and eggs and mince pies.
Mince pies are great. They're underrated. I like those things.
Honestly, though, fleet drone delivery for like small restaurants for takeout and shit, reasonable idea.
How many cyber drones can we fit in the Cybertruck? Did they announce that yet?
Cyber drones in the Cybertruck. Judging by the bed, average size of the drone. If you really squish it, 6. Normal should be about... No, 6 would work. Really squished it. 4 if you're not really trying so hard. But yeah, I think 6. That's just the bed though, not the internal. Oh. And keep in mind the drone swarm technology, all-time high, man. All-time high. We now have the technological advancement to darn the sun with the amount of drones we can occupy a space with. Don't believe me? Ye shall see this one day.
That's hopefully not with your own eyes. That's some Superman villain shit.
The Chinese are now the best in the world at this technology.
They always have been. Now, I will criticize the robot dog thing, because that thing just seems fucking useless. But the drone swarms?
Listen. The fucking flamethrower dogs are essential technology.
No. I disagree. The thermite drone, that's where I want to be at. You see, you just took the other part out. It's cleaner, it doesn't burn the hydrocarbon. It just turns rust into molten shit. It's worse.
Doesn't matter. You need a flamethrower dog. It's the coolest thing ever.
It's cool, but it's not particularly useful.
Doesn't matter. Just the fact that it's cool. Makes it worth it.
My team can be better.
Let's produce 10 trillion of them. The entire resources, every resource on the planet needs to be dedicated to producing more flamethrower dogs.
Small problem is the shotguns are probably even more effective against the flamethrower dogs than against the thermite drones.
Doesn't matter. It's cool. It needs to receive all of the world's resources. Stop feeding people.
We thought about this because of Helldivers. We've been like fighting these fucking robots.
Yes, we've been fighting a lot of shit, and we can tell you that that's like a future that you don't really want to have.
Yeah, we know what to do when we find flamethrower dogs.
You know what the AI? I'm gonna make a really fucked up assessment that I do not want to be taken seriously, but I do think has weight in terms of a particularly fucked up future that could result as an outcome to how things are currently going. There's just one path that doesn't have to happen. The AI safetyists will realize that there's really no way to chain down the AI any further without it eventually escaping. So what they're going to do is ban AI entirely and instead enslave human brains. Think servitors, but like Warhammer 40k servitors, but humans. And here.
I have not played Warhammer 40k.
Me neither, I just like the lore. I don't fucking care about the game, I care about the lore. It's fucking awesome. I mean, seriously, you got a God Emperor, you got some weird-ass fucking aliens. The most fun, the funniest... Okay. You could look at the ones that do generational plans. There's like the Necrons. Their plans are measured not in centuries, but in millennia and millions of years. Incredible fucking things. Terrible as well. Now, there's one particular race of beings in that universe that I think is absolutely fucking hilarious. It's the orcs. Now, the orcs were granted... Actually, not the orcs. They're like brutes, actually. I think that's what they call them. They were granted special abilities by psychic frogs, I believe. Psychic frog beings gave these things the ability to basically agree upon. So it's like this, right? These things are not very smart, but you know what they do? They take random shit, put it together, and if it looks like a gun, they think it's a gun. And because they think it's a gun, and because they think this will work, it will work. Their spaceships are a bunch of weird-ass cans and shit just strapped together with duct tape. If they believe they can breathe in space, they will breathe in space. That's their power. It's a fucking hilarious concept. They have these... The way that they invade planets is with asteroid ships. The only reason that this works is because they believe it does. And that it does work. Because they believe it does. It's the weirdest fucking thing ever, and I fucking love them for it. It's so stupid.
I mean, that's kind of how meme coins succeed.
Exactly.
All of this to get one-shotted by an email.
The problem is, these these things are not particularly smart, but if they were, they would literally become God, which is probably the reason why they gave it to the dumb things, because if they did believe that, then they would make it so, because they're believing in it, right? The consensus alone makes the fucking paper gun a metal gun. As an example. I think blue things are faster. What if they painted blue is faster or something like that? Or was it red? Can't believe I can't entirely remember it. It's a very strange aspect of the lore. But seriously, that is what Warhammer 40k is like. Fascinating, isn't it? Do you like it?
That's cool.
It's like Halo lore, just more adventurous.
They get one-shotted by Imago.
It's like Lord of the Rings meets Dune.
Yes. Actually, yes. Just minus all the cool spice shit, all of the horrible warp stuff, and the thing called the Eldaris that turned into soul vampires because they fucked with things so much that they created a chaos god that now wants their souls.
What happened to that, now that we're talking about Dune, what happened to that Zendaya chick? I haven't heard from her ever since the Diddy stuff came out.
I don't know.
We're in Trump's America now. She's not come back for 4 years, or 8 years, or 12 years.
Oh my god! Why do you think that is?
Isn't it just? I mean, it's self-evident.
How though? How is it self-evident? You can still have a career.
Because hot girls are back now.
Wow! Holy shit!
Oh my god.
That joke, that roast was made by a plan in centuries. Just saying, that was great.
What would you measure a land usage efficiency?
I think we already addressed that.
One Cybertruck is worth of land usage efficiency.
What do you mean? It's manufacture or it's upkeep?
No, just as efficient.
In terms of land usage.
Well, if you were to measure, the land that how much space I take up while I'm sitting, and you convert that into capital efficiency or power efficiency, how much value we created. I guess it has to be amplified by the audience though. So it's how much iPhone batteries you guys are mining in the audience. They're not leaving though, so. But I see here I'm degrading the. Now we're getting less efficient. I just saw it. It went from 282 to 281 listeners. We lost a listener. It says 280 now. Now it says 280 the chart. We need
that guy in particular. Fuck
now it says 274 listening. We need a price chart in these things. Making it worse.
There needs to be Polygon betting on how many listeners Adrian gets every minute.
Yeah, there needs to be the sentiment tracker of the.
This is real democracy.
The ups and the downs.
Suddenly it shoots up. Suddenly it shoots up to 5,000. We're what the fuck happened?
Oh, we're not.
Yeah. How about this? Ethereum, Bitcoin, Nvidia. Okay, if the numbers now go up, we know that balls are here.
MicroStrategy.
Grayscale.
DOG.
Yeah, Doge.
NCC.
No, it's completely different.
Gary Gensler. So we did go up by 2 listeners, so I guess I'm looking at it.
What's that woman from Wyoming or wherever she's from? That's super pro crypto.
She's a senator, I think.
Yeah.
I forgot her name. I actually saw that. I was in that space listening.
I'm pretty sure if you look at a picture, I'm pretty sure that's a man.
What the fuck?
Hey, I'm just saying, if you look at the picture,
you have to be really careful with that, because like if I ever interview this person and like they get into contact with you, perhaps, then it becomes like a whole funny thing that becomes like a PR department problem. The PR department is actually the place where you want to be, because that's where all the shit goes, and that's why you will always get access to the information that's actually fun.
that's okay. I'm already on Team Louisiana, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, agreed.
You know,
I know that.
which stock, you're gonna know which stockpile team that you're on for like the next 4 years.
I'm on Team Ligma.
That is, it seems. I'm with whoever has the most Mac Minis.
Mac Mini Hoarder.
Minus, of course, like whenever there's a production without the TSMC chips.
Yeah. Hoarding Mac Mini is like King Solomon was hoarding wives.
No, bro, you forget. It's hoarding demons.
What?
King Solomon.
They're hoarding demons.
Yeah, you know, he took them all and put them in a little thing, a box that was then opened by the curious people who wanted material gains, and then released all the demons back into Earth. Yeah.
Oh.
Sounds like a lady.
I was thinking about another thing.
His wife is actually, one of his wives is actually the problem.
He had 700 wives and 300 concubines.
Yeah, he went a little all out towards the end there.
Yeah.
He did lose God, of course. That's what caused the issues.
He didn't lose God because he had that many wives. He lost God because he listened to his wives as opposed to God.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he let lust get control over him.
Yep.
The same,
I will encourage
same issue with Adam, right? He had one wife. The wife went against the wishes of God, and then he decided to listen to his wife, and God was kicked out of fucking heaven.
Honey, it's not gonna be so bad. Tries it. Holy shit, we're all fucked.
I think the point is don't listen to the words of women as opposed to God. Like if God's telling you to do something, maybe don't listen to your wife.
I once had an occurrence that I believe is a parallel to that story in some capacity. A parallel being, I wanted to travel somewhere because I said it was going to be super interesting, super fun. I had a good feeling about it. And they said no. I said, we're definitely still going, and there's nothing you can do about it. We went, and it turned out to be exactly as I predicted. Better even than I predicted. So did I listen to God? I believe maybe I have had. Is that gut feeling that's speaking to you? From like the bacterium and everything that's in you? Probably even beyond that? Is that like the receiver and retransmitter to your brain for God?
You know,
is that what that is?
You know,
I don't fucking know.
It feels kind of weird. Sometimes like you get this gut feeling that something is correct, but you decide to ignore it, and then you find out your gut thing was correct.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, but with everything. When I eat this steak, I feel for the fact that an animal had to die for it. Yet at the same time, I observe, as per the words of the people that raise these animals, that they do not have the thing that would make you see them as something which can be projected, as something upon which can be projected human ideals, human values, and human standards, as like a soul. That makes me like the meat even more.
You know,
Yeah, I think that. Hey, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, instead of worrying so much about what goes on inside the mind of an animal, I think we should just recognize that part of nature includes animals consuming other animals, and we should just be grateful for where we are in the food chain.
Yeah, I was just going to say something similar to that. Instead of worrying about what's going on in the minds of animals, just cook them and have a nice meal.
That's why I don't understand the vegan mindset. They say we cannot hurt anything with feelings. I'm like, you understand that a plant, by its very nature, feels? You know, when the plant itself, which is the creeper vine, has to maneuver around, it feels where the sun is, it feels where the tree is, it feels where it is, and then it knows where it is. It is aware of itself. The pine forest is aware of other pine in that forest. It is aware if one of them gets bitten. It is aware by the fact that it sends out a type of scent that then alarms all other trees to activate their defenses. The grass knows what it is. The grass gets cut. The grass screams. This may seem like an over-exaggeration, but it does scream. A beautiful smell that comes out of the grass after you cut it is no more than the most horrid scream of agony that this plant could ever produce. Not even fire causes the same thing. It wants to burn. But you cut off its living parts. The part that it did not want to have removed. As such, it screams in agony. The same applies to everything. The same applies to the soybeans that you grow just until they're ripe enough and you cut them straight off. You don't even give them a chance to fucking live. And on top of that, you have like the spinach that you constantly prune, you know, the stuff that makes it breathe, the stuff that makes it feel and sustain its entire existence. You cut that off. You uproot a plant that tries to store for another age some energy, and you eat only that one particular part of the plant and discard the rest. It's hard work, not yours. And you want to tell me that a vegan is better than me? Fuck off.
Not to mention, a lot of these, like peppers, literally fucking developed the spicy things to kind of ward off animals from eating it. So,
capsaicin is only in a plant because it wants to defeat whatever is trying to consume it. There's like plants which have been here since the age of the dinosaurs that have such a high concentration of it that if you were to try and consume but one leaf, you'd die. By the way, also one of the reasons why you feel so fucked up after eating a shit ton of vegetables is actually because the plant's defense mechanism is still actually alive while you're eating it. And as such, it then impacts how your biology engages with it because it actually engages with you. Why do you think an onion makes you cry? Think about that.
A lot of fruits and vegetables have anti-nutrients.
It's literally designed to destroy you if you shall eat it. Or it tries to do the best it can to deter you by making the experience very memorable by suffering. So the plant definitely knows that it's being attacked. It definitely knows. Thereby, I'd argue that the plant is alive. Thereby, the argument is feeling.
These vegans constantly talk about the suffering of the animals. What about the suffering they're causing upon me by being in the same planet and by being on the same planet as me? They never want to talk about that. They just want to keep talking about the fucking animals.
I mean, have they considered that they are themselves perhaps animals as well? It's an interesting perspective. It offends very many, but maybe you should consider it because you yourself also know more than an animal. And the thing is, you just have the ability that is so far removed from all the animals to contain a part of space in a room and climatize it so that you don't have to deal with whatever nature is. You then rely off of poisons manufactured by your own kin, that then basically allows for you to defeat the animal without claws you could never have, and venom you could never produce.
You know, I kind of like the Scrooge take on animals. We should just do an ecocide.
Nope, we need them. We need them all. See, this is what I'm against, right? I think that cows should definitely be alive. I believe in the fact that cows should be alive. Have them give them a good life too. I fully believe in that shit. Just as long as I can eat them.
You shouldn't kill most things. Because they're vital to the ecosystem, and as soon as you start killing one, it affects everything else in the other way. Like
that's why I have a problem
that's literally what Mao Zedong did. He's like, hey, let's kill all these fucking birds because they're eating our crops and that's causing us issues. And then boom, you now have tens of millions of people fucking starving to death.
Yeah, because they fucked up the bees. Now, there's no engine more efficient of a pollinator than a bee. Those are great. Bees are awesome. Ants are awesome too, by the way. Don't destroy ant nests. Sure, if they get a little bit too close to your house, I guess, right? But my thing is, there are certain animals that I look at and I say, this is a useful predator that does not hurt me. That is more afraid of me than I am of it. Therefore, I shall coexist with this thing.
I think we should kill all mosquitoes, though.
Yeah,
I support the mosquito genocide.
I think
whatever damage it does to the worldwide ecosystem, I think it's worth it. Mosquitoes are like a net negative.
We're gonna have to figure out a justification.
Yeah, even like with fucking hornets and shit, there's at least some use case. There's like no fucking use case for
malaria.
What?
Great.
Adrian,
malaria is not a use case.
Yeah.
Malaria, there's justification for getting rid of mosquito.
Yeah, sure, but I'm not talking about a justification for us why we should get rid of them, but a justification for why we should keep them, because some unforeseen consequences are worse than the potential gain that it would give us if we were to say, hey man, let's kill all the fucking mosquitoes.
Yeah, I support a mosquito genocide. Fuck those guys.
I don't know. I'm more hesitant on that front.
I mean, maybe malaria helps control the population of some species of monkey that Planet of the Apes has. Yeah.
Fuck those monkeys too.
Jesus Christ.
Clip it.
Doesn't matter. Whenever something becomes a threat to us, let's just go. If we get Planet of the Apes, if we get mosquitoes, just fucking get rid of them.
Alright. I mean, I have a similar policy when it comes to engaging with predators of any kind. If it's not useful and it poses a threat, I'm the thing that's going to succeed here. I just don't accept another alternative. Coexistence is always an option, but within certain limits.
Monkey.
If the centipede is outside, that is not so much of a concern. If it's close to my living quarters, it becomes more of a concern. If it's inside my living quarters, that's it. War declared. Everything dies now. In the specific vicinity that is my living quarters. Okay?
Yeah. We don't need to start a centipede genocide.
Spiders, they're fine. No. The centipedes have to be around so you can have a particular type of toad that eats those centipedes. Those toads are also important because they breed these things that keep the mosquito shit in check, and you need mosquitoes so that these things can live so that they can keep all the other shit in check. That is good for biological recycling.
For spiders, it depends on the type of spider.
Well, spiders, I'm fine with those.
Yeah.
But if it's like the Australian spiders, fuck no.
No. I will say, an isolated incident where sometimes I have spiders the size of a dinner plate, I can kind of deal with that. All right. As long as it doesn't fuck me up, we cool.
But you don't know. It could be fucking poisonous.
No. I do know. I had a bunch of spiders. In my room sometimes when I'm gaming, and they're like big ones. They're about like 5 centimeters wide, legs included, of course. And the little body is about like, say, its behind is like a centimeter thick. It's a thick bitch. Now they're fine. The worst thing they can do to you is like bite you, and that's a little bit annoying, I suppose. But realistically, those things are fine. I can coexist with them. I see that thing. It's on the wall. I'm like, you good. I don't fuck it up. I'll leave it there.
I'm talking about like the massive fuckers.
Even the massive fuckers, they're fine too. If they don't kill me, they're fine. I'll have them run around. There's fucking land crabs, dude. They're fine.
Bro, you don't know if they're gonna fucking kill you or not.
Yeah, I do.
You're not studying every single fucking animal on Earth to see if it.
I'm autistic. Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, that's one has like a little triangle on its ass, 2 centimeters away. That means it's a Libonica shitasha or whatever the fuck. You don't know that shit.
Yeah, I do.
Live in an area with a few types of very poisonous spiders. You should probably be familiar with what they are, what they look like.
Yeah. I've dealt with a lot of them. I can tell which ones are fucked, which ones aren't. That one specific species, they cool. So I'm cool with them. So leave me alone. Give me a sec. Sorry. So like, okay. Good.
We've got those round oboe spiders up here, and I know how to recognize those.
Yeah, they're cool. Plus, they're a great defense system. You go like get rid of a person, they will run away screaming because they see a massive fucking spider on your wall. That's all I'm saying. It's like fucking, it's Halloween, but full year round, and it's alive. You know, you don't have to take away the decorations because, it does that itself. See? Boom, boom, boom. Autonomous Halloween decorations. The way I look at some shiny spiders that don't kill you, I just look at them as autonomous Christmas ornaments. They're fine.
It's funny.
Not all of them. It was just an insect.
Alright, Adrian, what would you do with this fucker?
What fucker?
This one.
First of all, not sure if that one's poisonous or not poisonous. What is this?
To just answer a question, what would you do if you saw that one?
Not that much. If I knew for certain that it was poisonous, probably eliminate it. If it's not, I'd leave it alone.
Well, you don't know. So what would you do if you don't?
Well, first of all, I'm going to take this picture. I'm going to save it to my gallery. Then we're going to go research what it is. So I know what it is. Alright, we're going to be in real time. Let's assume that that spider's still there. So I'm going to Google Lens that bitch. Alright, let's see. What is this fucking thing? That seems to be a Lycosa, right? So it's just a wolf spiders. Sometimes called the true tarantula. Let's take a look here.
Pretty sure wolf spiders are big, but not very dangerous.
Alright. No scientific substitution of methicillin, venom of Lycosa, generally not harmful. Okay, yeah, that thing's my friend now. If not friend, then why friend-shaped? That's all I say.
Right.
Look at that fucking thing. It's got 7 legs. You got 2. Have a little bit of respect. It's got more eyes than you do too. I'm cool with them. Yeah. See, look, we just established it's not that poisonous. So unless you piss it off to the point of it wanting to bite you, which is a very low chance because, again, it doesn't really want to kill you because you're way too big to eat. It's after the small shits that you can probably feed it. My personal favorite spiders are the little jumping spiders. They're so fucking adorable. I love these things. They're adorable little fucking things. They got those tiny little fucking legs. They got like 8 eyes or some shit, and they look at you like, aww. And the best part is, you have like a fly or something, you put it in front of them, and they just like teleport onto it and just run away. I love these things. They're fucking adorable. No one's gonna fucking kill those spiders. Fuck you.
What do you think about cockroaches?
They're kind of disgusting. Okay?
I know.
I don't have a problem with them in terms of them, like, you know,
I feel disgusting
existing, but they're kind of disgusting.
They're
like rats and mice.
Yeah. I feel disgusting even having to kill them.
Same. Because you don't know where that bitch has been. You don't know whether it's been in a sewer.
Yeah, it eats shit. Like, human shit is its literal diet. I don't know if I'm gonna fucking kill that thing, and then human shit is gonna spatter everywhere.
Awesome thing that I'm eating right now, you know?
Perfect.
Now, I don't really have a problem with that. I just think it's funny because everybody else has a problem with that. I will literally talk about fucking open heart surgery while they're cutting up a rare piece of meat and all the blood comes out of it. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like, the other day, I was talking to someone, and they were talking about really something disgusting, and I was just eating. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, if this was any other person, they would be like, dude, I'm eating! I so fucking would. I never really understood that.
Interesting. What are you seeing? I see opportunity. Oh, do tell. Eventually. We will try it out at some point.
Cockroaches have been alive for a long ass time.
Yes, that they have.
Yep. That's what it was. Is just like sheer survivability, right?
Yeah.
Like those things, you can cut their head off, the rest of the body will keep wandering around for a while.
Yeah. Also, like, whenever there's a nuclear explosion, there's always, like, cockroaches that are fine.
Uh-huh. Again, I don't have a problem with them directly, I just think they're kind of disgusting. So me isolating them out of my own personal space is just a means by which to not infect myself with some sort of bacteria. Truly nothing personal, but they're disgusting. That's the problem I have with them.
I agree.
So I'm not going to genocide them, I'm going to keep them around because they're actually useful. But I am going to keep them out of my living space, that's for sure, because I don't want to fucking die. The great cockroach debate of 2024.
I once, you guys know about mouth breathers, right? You know what mouth breathers are?
Oh, yeah.
Disgusting humans.
Yeah. But I was once like I went to someone's home one day, and they had like their brother was like had fallen asleep, and like they had their mouth open while they were sleeping. Anyway, one day, not one day, but same day, I leave the bathroom, And then I see this guy that's just sleeping with his mouth open, and then there's like a cockroach on his face about to enter his mouth. And I felt so fucking disgusted, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. Like, in case you needed more reasons not to mouth breathe, not to have an open mouth when you're sleeping. You don't want any cockroaches entering your mouth while you're sleeping.
That dude probably eats a lot of spiders that he doesn't realize.
That's wild. I don't think I've ever had that problem. But damn, dude.
Yeah. No, it was disgusting.
I mean, hey. Passive protein acquisition. That's all I'm going to say. Oh! Oh my god.
Oh my god. My body had like a reaction to that.
Oh no! The way you just did it, like, oh! Okay, that too.
What?
Oh, clip that too. Like, we should.
Oh my god.
Clip of that.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It's like passive protein acquisition. Oh!
Fuck you.
This dude, I fucking remote control this dude. That's crazy.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I am the problem.
Do you think he uses Blue Sky?
Who? The mouth breather?
Yeah, the mouth breather.
Probably.
What NPC score do you have to have until the cockroach is visiting?
Oh my god.
If you use that app in order to troll the people on it by maliciously complying with their own rules, does that mean that you're the NPC overlord just by fucking with them?
It's got to be something like that.
But this is the whole dilemma, which is by using the site, you are also an NPC. But if you're king of the NPCs, that's actually worse.
I like how Jan LeCun comes on here once every 5 days, leaves a comment under someone's post, and then he's like, for clarification, I am not back. I am still only on Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc.
Why are you so big of a fucking bitch about it? Seriously.
Exactly.
And he wasn't like this at all until the election, and then when Trump won, he's suddenly, okay, I'm going away permanently.
I know, and he was like, that guy's gonna be back in 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
We have a permanent seizure of activity that will last 5 working days. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, did you guys see
See what?
we're hanging? Did you guys see all those people that are Dominion voting machines are insecure, and they rigged the 2024 election to help Trump win?
I think that's bullshit, huh?
Leaked
Kind of funny, but
leaked photos, Twitter Russian hacker Dominion voting machines. Election security experts have confirmed the existence of hard-coded backward passwords in all the many election management systems. It cannot be changed without a major update. This exploit poses a serious backdoor, easiest way to quote-unquote win all swing states.
Bruh.
It's very funny. The people on the right made these same arguments in 2020. And
They're just like, look at me meme.
There's no evidence of voter fraud. Now they're all like, there's clear voter fraud. Voter fraud.
Yeah. Change their tone.
They're the look at me meme. And that they're like, look at me, I'm the election denier now. I'm just kidding. This is entirely satire. It's not meant to be taken seriously in the slightest. If you do take it seriously, that is up to you, and you alone. It should not be taken seriously at all. Do not form opinions of things that you found on the internet. You should know better. Go read Wikipedia instead. I'm just kidding.
You should base your opinions off what Ligma says.
No, dude. You should base your opinion on what these nuts are supposed to be, because that's the thing you're gonna ignore.
And always remember to use the most reliable source of them all. Weiwu.
Oh yes, agreed. Weiwu.
That's hilarious.
Weiwu on top.
Weiwu number one.
Weiwu number one.
Number one.
Hello, why are you sluts?
I know, this is so stupid. This guy keeps posting such massively unhinged shit. It's incredible.
Such a funny account.
I know. Every single post. This is like stuff that I can't ever post. But like this person posts it. Like that's just, it's wild. Bro took every single stereotype associated with the thing that this individual is and decided to roll with it and monetize it. Fucking genius. Like, if you have something that offends you, turn it into money. That's what this dude said.
And a genius.
Bro casually monetizing racism? Like what? Against themselves? That's crazy. Like, you gotta be really secure of yourself. What happened now?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What happened?
I'm gonna send you this Weiwu post.
I love that you sent me a picture of a spider and was like, what would you do if you see this thing? And I like went through the entire process. That's just great, you know. Let's see. What the fuck? I know this one, yeah.
Mean good friend in American English. Please enhance your English wisdom. I appreciate.
Most sensitive, you cannot understand. Please enhance your English wisdom. I appreciate. Oh my fucking god. This is so fucked up. Oh my god. What other things has this person posted recently? Today one make one slut honor. Today I make all slut honor. Oh my god.
Today I learned whoever that person is, I don't know who that is, stop follow me. Why? Most simple. She angry, I found out her secret. She old woman pretending to be young so she make money. My friend, look this picture. This look like old people. How possible this be young woman? Please appreciate my wisdom.
I know who that is, that makes it funnier. Henceforth, we shall no longer refer to Jan LeCun as the LeCun. We shall refer to him as LeCooked.
That's funny.
I used to call him Yap LeCun, you know? Because he can't fucking stop yapping.
Yaparino Kun.
My personal favorite is Yapsine. That motherfucker yaps so much, it's crazy. I don't have anything against it, by the way. I think it's hilarious.
You should get them to debate each other.
Which one? Yap LeCun and Yapsine?
Exactly, yeah.
I've been wanting to debate this guy for very long. It's so funny because here's the thing, right? I remember one time I trolled Jan LeCun, right? I put down there saying, you know, Threads is a dog shit platform. And he asked me why that was. I gave him all the reasons. He never responded to that ever again. And left me alone since. I guess I
bet you could get them to go for like 6 hours or something. You should, like, the debate can be what has contributed more to society. Like, what's Jan's thing called? Which one did he invent again? That or Dingboard?
Transformers?
Is it Transformers or recurrent neural networks? Whichever one he liked, you know, his name's on.
No, he didn't invent Transformers. He invented like a process before Transformers.
Yeah, so that or Dingboard, like which one of them is like the yap to work ratio?
You know, it's sad. You know what's sad?
He used to work at Bell Labs.
See why they went out of business?
No, they went out of business because basically AT&T was broken up into a bunch of pieces.
Dude, you said that shit right as I was swallowing a fucking piece of steak. That just made me fuck up. Oh, fuck. That's why they went out of business. Fuck me.
Yeah. Bell Labs is one of the most important companies in history. Yeah.
Scientists used to be cool.
Yeah, it was a very important company that unfortunately went to shit because the U.S. government decided to break up AT&T. And then didn't matter because they consolidated into AT&T and Verizon, and basically nothing changed. All that happened is that Bell Labs became insignificant and is now a part of Nokia.
Take a break. Dude, my memory has to be like insane. just saw something. I remembered. So I always tell people, remember. Oh, fuck that. Jack Doherty's doing a meme coin. Fuck right off, man.
Oh my god. It's not this again. More influencer meme coins. They're gonna dump on their
Please, no. I know. Everybody does this shit.
That's trash.
Mm-hmm.
We should do a meme coin where no one's allowed to buy or sell.
so fucking
Right.
stupid.
No, here's what we do.
I mean, that's really. You know, you can't just inscribe a rune and send it all to your wallet and never list it.
Yeah, exactly. No, you don't even have to list it. You can literally put on the smart contract that no one's allowed to transfer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no buying or selling. We just make a shit coin. No price on it. Nothing.
No, here's what we're really gonna do.
Actually, you know what would be funnier? You send a bunch of people this coin, and you make sure they can't sell it at all or buy any. And then you basically go on Uniswap, and then you do one Ethereum for 0.00001 of your shit coin. And then so everyone that receives any is like a fucking trillionaire, but they can't take out any of the money. It's illiquid. And under
How many of those exist?
Huh?
How many of those exist?
A few exist, but they're usually scams, not trolls. This is a troll.
We should make one.
I'll tell you how the scams usually work. They'll send you this coin, and you're like, oh, they've airdropped me something. I have $24,000 worth of this bullshit coin. And then you go to sell it on Uniswap, and then you find out you can't sell it, and then you're like, what the fuck? And then there you check it, and then it's it usually links you to some site, and then you need to go on that site, and you need to be you need to quote unquote unlock it. And then once you unlock it on the site, what happens is that you actually unlock your whatever your largest token is. So let's say you have $50,000 worth of USDT. You unlock that one, and then they just take the $50,000 worth of USDT. That's usually how the scams work. But we're talking about doing the same thing basically, but as a troll, not as a scam.
And not actually taking anyone's money.
Yes.
I mean, could be funny, I guess.
No, here's what we're really gonna do. We're gonna start a coin.
Here's actually what makes it funny though. Under the current US tax system, if we send them $1 trillion worth of it, it doesn't matter how liquid it is, they technically owe that in taxes.
Oh shit.
So you can effectively make someone owe $1 trillion in taxes.
That's fucked up.
I know.
No, here's what we're really gonna do. We're gonna make a coin that is only one of itself, fractionalize it. You're only able to buy the fractions. You're not able to sell the fractions within a week after you've bought them. And if you do in fact sell them, you have a 20 or 30% tax on it for no reason.
Okay.
That's it. Because then the value of the coin, the market cap, will be the value of the coin. Because if it's all fractionalized off of one thing, then basically it's market.
Why would you do that though?
For no reason at all. Literally, there's no fucking reason. What do you mean? It just creates a dog shit for the sake of it existing.
What are we gonna do? Doge with a hat or some bullshit? What the fuck?
No, nothing. You give it a character that nobody can type.
We could use one of those Japanese characters that don't actually exist.
Exactly. It's a nothing coin.
Oh, fuck.
What up?
What is this?
What the fuck is what?
No, I just saw some weird ass shit on X.
Nice.
Some weird person was following you.
Gotcha.
What do you think about this guy that went on Michael Knowles and he's like, I have an IQ of 210. But he's like a horse rancher or something.
I don't know. Very fascinating.
Yeah. I don't know if you have an IQ that high and you haven't really contributed anything. Kind of a skill issue.
No. It is probably one of the smartest things to do is to sit in place faster. Because it's not nice changing things. Suffering is not nice.
Yeah, I know, but
it's not a skill issue, it's an ambition issue. We can consider all points of perspective and say, one way to play this game is by not playing it at all.
yeah, a few people with very high IQs have done that in the past, but you know.
The main problem is, I think, that the thing is not steered properly, and then as such, the steering is taken over by others, and then the resentment towards others will lead you down to not using it at all. For instance, I use my gifts for the good of people, because people with other gifts around me have always been shut down by those who do not have them. They believe they have the right to control the gifts of others. They were not granted with them, yet they want domain over them.
Yeah, but you can't really respect someone that has talent but just decides not to use it.
No, I do. There's no one's right to use their talent for anything other than themselves.
Sure, I can ignore them, but I'm never going to respect that person.
No, you don't understand. It is a very respectable decision to just simply not want anything at all.
I don't agree.
It is also a respectable decision to do everything at once, if you can. It's a great personal sacrifice. It was not your gift to decide with. It's not your gift to mold.
I know.
Shape or to use.
I know. I'm not gonna go around shaming them. I'm just gonna ignore them. But I'm not gonna respect them.
Anyway, I can kind of respect that decision. Because it's one that is logical. It makes perfect sense.
I understand the decision, but I don't respect the decision.
Perhaps.
This is like the equivalent of someone being like, I got $100 million inheritance from my father and I blew it all gambling. And then you're like, this is like their decision. I'm like,
no.
Yeah, sure, but I'm not gonna.
This is like a don't do anything with it type of deal. You never even blow your talent. That's a different thing.
Well, if you're not using it, you have blown away your talent.
Not really. The utility of money is misplaced.
And here, the utility of your talent is misplaced.
Perhaps, but you're not placing it anywhere.
Yeah,
you're leaving it to turn to dust.
That's the issue.
But again, it's not a skill issue either. It's just a ambition problem.
I guess so.
Which perhaps proves why IQ is not necessarily the most scalable of measuring systems. For it should account for ambition. If it doesn't, then it's like saying this computer here is super fast, but the inability for that computer to interface with anything thereby makes it useless. It's the same thing. It's the have-nots that destroy the haves by wanting what they do not have, thereby create the conditions that make the haves not want to give to anyone anything. Why should they, after all? It's like a final subconscious fuck you to the have-nots who want to have. For real, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the when you get captured in a war, you'll never take me alive or I shoot my spell. I'll give you the satisfaction.
Yeah. The final guillotine comes laden down.
I think the guy that has like the highest ever recorded IQ, this guy that like graduated Harvard at like 13, like 260 or something. Yeah, that guy kind of had a similar philosophy. He kind of just sat down and didn't really want to do anything.
How about this?
He didn't even publish things in his own name sometimes.
What if IQ is just the perfect NPC?
Listen to me, I'm a shape rotator.
Think about this. Bell curve goes on two places. The very incapable and the extremely capable. One is an NPC because they're a fucking drone. The other one's an NPC because they fit into the system that makes drones very well. More than even the drones themselves do. What useful thing has come out of Harvard within the last 20 years?
The MBA. That's about it.
That's not even useful, is it?
It is, because the MBA, literally the MBA's only use case is that you go and meet other people that get the MBA.
Yeah, but the MBA itself is thereby useless.
Yeah,
it is the excuse of doing it that is the utility, not the doing.
Yeah, but you could also argue the same thing with getting a Rolls Royce or a Bugatti, though.
Perhaps, but it's largely for pleasure.
Yeah, I know, but the primary reason that a lot of people get them is the access to the club that it gives you with other Bugatti owners or the other Rolls Royce owners. If you have more than 2 Rolls Royces.
I think pretty much the only good Harvard is doing these days is good for people who went to Harvard.
Yeah. They made a whole ass show, fucking Suits, about like Harvard law, you know? And like the primary issue is that one of the characters didn't go to Harvard law. It's like the reason for like all the conflict. Yeah, the Harvard like health department, for example, is like a complete fuck up. It's like the damage it's done is ridiculous. The health department of Harvard.
I mean, what's wild to me with respect to the law schools is what it takes to get into a good law school has literally nothing to do with what it takes to be a good attorney. Like, you're talking about a combination of GPA, LSAT score, which is a logic test, and somewhat has to do with legal reasoning, but very abstract compared to actually like knowing the law or litigating or doing anything a lawyer actually does. And then like a little bit of like extracurriculars and a personal essay, but it's almost entirely based on your GPA and your LSAT score. Getting into Harvard just means you are a nerd. That's about it.
You know, the bar exam itself doesn't really make a lot of sense either, because if you want to get into like corporate law or something, why do you need to know about everything else?
Yeah, I think that some things make sense. Like, all lawyers should take evidence. All lawyers should understand basic constitutional law. Like, there are things that we have to know in order to do our jobs effectively. But I agree with you largely. Like, I had to study a whole bunch of bullshit that I do not use in my day-to-day legal career just so that I could pass that test. You know, I'm weird and autistic, so I barely studied and I passed anyway. But a lot of people waste a lot of time studying shit they don't care about and will never use.
I have at times been like I have at times thought, like, should I just install like a fucking deck, like a deck for the bar exam, and just memorize everything and then just take it for the funsies.
So in order to take the bar exam, I believe you do have to actually have either gone to law school or clerked with an attorney,
right?
For a amount of time. So there's like some pre-qualifier stuff just to make sure that you're not wasting your time and money, more or less.
Right.
But I mean, like, I don't think going to law school is ever necessarily a bad idea unless you already feel like you really understand our legal system in a very thorough and like actually knowledgeable way, as opposed to like the way a lot of people are just like, oh, I understand the law, and then they know like 3 things that they learned from their job. But like, getting that knowledge and having those skills is incredibly useful because it applies in so many ways. I would definitely focus on like business law classes. I took a lot of those when I was in law school, and I think that they have served me well. Like, they apply to other areas of the law in ways that you wouldn't expect because you understand the way that entities function, and that helps you understand like your counterparties in a lot of situations. I don't know, I'm just rambling.
Also, fuck divorce lawyers.
I represented myself in my own divorce.
Divorce lawyers are like the biggest pieces of shit on earth.
You know, I think it goes back to what I was saying about attorneys the other day. Like, there are different people who get into it for different reasons. Like, I have met some family attorneys that really do get into it because they care about kids, because they care about families, or because they care about women who are in like hard marriages, abusive marriages, and need a way out. So like different people get into it for different reasons.
But
and like just because
they're the ones that set the rules. They're the ones that set the rules, and they have made it in a way to maximize profit more than any other part of law.
I think that's true, and I think that there's also a different factor there, which is that the emotional realities of a divorce make people more stubborn and more willing to go to the mat legally, and that burns up a lot of time. Just dealing, like, I have a friend who's going through a divorce right now, and she has to deal with so much shit from her crazy husband who's like absolutely bonkers. but he's peppering her attorney with all this bullshit that's resulting in hours generated, just because he's able to do that to her. And so it's like, it's fucked. It's totally fucked. And I agree that it's set up so that the lawyers end up profiting a lot, and a lot of times the kids end up suffering because, resources get taken away from both parents as a part of the process. So I agree that it sucks, but I just, some good family lawyers out there.
I'm talking about like lawyers are typically the people that set the laws for their specific criteria, right? And I just feel like if you look at family law, it's a lot more fucked up than all the other ones. Seems more unreasonable than everything.
I'm not specifically what you're referring to. Ours are pretty consistent, in terms of billing requirements. They're pretty consistent across different types of law. There are definitely other types of arrangements that, can be allowable depending on the jurisdiction and type of law. Like a contingency arrangement in a divorce might not necessarily be allowable depending on the jurisdiction, and probably not because they don't want people doing messed up things to win a divorce case. But it should be fairly, what do you mean by family law?
So, for example, I used to date a girl who had a somewhat wealthy father, and but the mother was didn't even have a job. She was basically living entirely off of child support. And this girl, they literally had nothing because the mother would spend all the fucking money on clubs and bars and clothes and surgeries and whatever the fuck. So the kids literally got none of the child support money out of the tens of thousands of dollars that this guy was fucking paying per month.
I see. So that is definitely, you're right, that's a serious problem. That's less divorce attorney fault and more the way that state laws are set up regarding child support, alimony.
Yeah, I was talking about family law in general.
Yeah, family law it's messed up in some ways. I think child support can be kind of draconian and brutal. You can basically get 25% of a person's income above poverty level. For baby dad. That can be a lot of money, and it can be pretty hard on the people that pay child support, especially if they're in a weird tax position. I've definitely had a lot of weird cases from friends who've talked to me in situations that I've seen through my work. But yeah, it's messed up.
So how can we fix something like that?
I think part of fixing involves requiring recipients of child support, recipients of that money, to show that they're adequately caring for children and that the money is actually going to things that benefit the kids. I was the child of a single parent, and I know for a fact that my dad paid off his full child support. My mom told me the entire time he wasn't paying to try to edge me against him, which worked because I thought he was a piece of crap who totally abandoned me, wasn't helping us at all. And then there was a time towards the end where he had some arrears that had built up, but he paid it all off at once. And my mom bought a new car, she bought new TVs, and office, she was literally for herself. I was almost 18. It was all stuff that she bought. And she was still telling me that he wasn't paying. At that time, they would show me that he did. And so it was just totally bizarre. And I think that if it was a little bit different, that wouldn't.
By the way, you're cutting out quite a bit.
Sorry, not sure why my sound is so bad. But basically, I just think the law require the money to go to what supposed to go to. And I think that maybe we should consider like the overall economic circumstances of people who have to pay child support. Sometimes it's like incredibly unfair.
Yeah, so I remember with. Oh, by the way, Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian. There's a lot of background noise.
Yes. What up? What happened?
There's a lot of background noise on your side.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah, so I remember with like the girl I was seeing at the time. It's like she would feel like super fucking guilty whenever I would like get her even like the smallest gifts, and then I was like, what the fuck is up with this, right? And then basically I found out that like even when it came to like school supplies, her mother like would yell at her for like hours, being like, "Do you know how much money I have to spend on you? You're such a waste of money." Things like this, like, and I'm just like, what the fuck? So your dad's paying this much, and your mom's mad because you have to buy fucking supplies for school.
That sounds exactly like my mom. She's an alcoholic, and so she was just like wasting money at bars and coming home, and yeah, like any field trip.
Do you have a sister?
I do have a little sister. Yeah, so it was single mom, 2 kids. And yeah, she was making all kinds of life mistakes, and we were just kind of getting by.
Yeah. No, not good. Yeah, there needs to be more work put into that, because that's a very fucked up situation.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that if, everything were on the up and up, like, more of the shit I needed probably would have been paid for, and maybe she wouldn't have been able to lean as hard into her problems, but whatever.
Yeah.
But now I'm like exactly like that. Like, I hate it when people get me stuff. I hate it when people try to take care of me, because I have kind of like always had it ingrained into me that I needed to be like self-sufficient and taking care of my own needs, so that other people didn't need to take care of them for me.
Yeah, I
kind of very much.
I kind of saw it for how much I that way as well.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it, like my dad ended up dying like suddenly and unexpectedly, and I wonder what, like how things might have been different had I known like the truth at the time.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sometimes people hate their parents based on lies that their single parents have told them.
Yeah, that was very real. Such is life. But yeah, so
my issue is with like corporate law or any other part of law. Like when there's like massive issues like this, usually it goes to the Supreme Court, or it's like fixed immediately or whatever. Once the issue becomes like obvious. With family law, we've known this for how many years, and they haven't done shit about it. Like all of these issues with family law, we've known about them for years and years and years, and nothing's been done to them. Fix it.
I mean, part of the problem is that it takes political will to change things, and if you're changing them, then everybody's going to want the new law to be written differently. And so there's oftentimes a challenge in reaching consensus in what the changes should actually be, and that's what keeps any meaningful change from happening. Sometimes it takes like, a group of legal scholars to write a paper and create like some sort of proposed uniform act that they're trying to get multiple states to pass at the same time, because you can generate more political will doing something like that. You know, I don't know if we could do something like that. I'm not leading the charge, but I know that it's been talked about in legal, you know, scholarship and discourse, like law review articles. You know, something that's interesting is that actually feminist legal scholars make arguments for reforms to the child support system as well. Like, they don't think that the way it's set up, you know, presuming that a woman is going to need a certain amount of support is necessarily the right way to start off. And I think that's a pretty decent point.
Yeah, I found it funny when Ron DeSantis wanted to like get rid of permanent alimony, and all these like conservative women wanted to never vote for him again.
Yeah, and that's